Whoa, awesome. Hello, Jeremy. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be here with you all tonight at the AAF Baltimore Award Ceremony. This is such a magical night ahead of us. Absolutely incredible. We are going to be making an amazing beverage. I hope you're looking forward to it. All right, so if you saw the last video that I created, you may have seen that we have the ingredients to make this beautiful cocktail. And this is called a son of a bee sting. So a son of a bee sting is an evolution of a cocktail called a bee's knees, which is an evolution of a cocktail called a sour. And what that ultimately means is that there is a sweet component, a sour component, and a spirit component. There's also a water component, but that comes in the form of ice. So if you would like to, we are gonna go ahead and make up this recipe so that we can get to our enjoyable beverage and enjoy the rest of our night, right? All right, so let's begin. Okay, first things first, we're gonna go ahead and grab our, this is gonna be our shaker tin. This is what we're going to be shaking our ingredients in. But if you're going to be using our lemon, we're gonna go ahead and slice this up real quick. And you can see that it's going to have a little wheel right there. So I like to slice it between the two ends. And then we're just going to slice something called a wheel right out of the top. So this wheel is going to go straight into our glass. So we're actually just gonna set that aside and we're going to juice the rest of our lemon. So I went ahead and juiced a little bit leading up to now, but if you have a chance to, go ahead and juice your lemon now. So we have our lemon juice and I'm just going to use about 3/4 of an ounce. And if you're working with like a tablespoon, it's about a tablespoon and a half. So we're gonna go ahead and start with our lemon juice here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pour that right in. Oof. And if you get a chance to, go ahead and taste the lemon juice by itself. I really love to taste things as they go so you can see as a cocktail starts to evolve. Whether or not you're enjoying it with or without alcohol, it is really nice to kind of taste as it evolves so that you can really get a feel for it. Now, if you're not using alcohol, you can also use things like soda water, which I'll kind of plug in towards the end. So we went ahead and started with our lemon juice. Go ahead and taste that and you can really, I don't know, it's really fun to taste it. And if you can, just go ahead and show the rest of us your lemon face too. Like, ooh, super tight. You know, when we're babies and our parents used to give us little lemons as we were younger, super fun. So go ahead, get us started here with some lemon juice. The next thing that we're gonna do is we're actually going to start building with the rest of our ingredients. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna do 1 tablespoon or a 1/2 ounce of our honey. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. Perfect. And now measuring out in here, it's nice and sticky. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use a little spoon to kind of pull some of this out. But I'm gonna use this little measuring thing to measure out the rest of my ingredients. So the liquid that's gonna go in here is gonna help pour some of that out. So whether or not you're using ginger juice or you're using ginger powder, it's gonna be a tablespoon, all right? So a tablespoon is a 1/2 ounce of liquid. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour a 1/2 ounce of this ginger juice, which I'm gonna use my little spoon and kind of come in here and see if I can get some of that leftover honey. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some of that. Woo! And if you try this ginger by itself, even with the powder, it's super duper spicy, which is kind of crazy. Now, before we add it in, I'm gonna give this a little stir so that the lemon juice will actually help to break up some of the waxes that are in the honey. So have you ever had like iced tea and you pour honey at the bottom and it just kind of sits there and it just gets really hard and it never actually ends up sweetening your tea? Well, that's because there's waxes in honey that will solidify once it's cold. So when we mix it up with other liquids, what we're doing is we're actually kind of separating those waxes so it won't re-solidify in a drink. That way the whole drink tastes delicious, right? So then we're gonna go ahead and add in our ginger juice. Awesome. We even have a little bit of our honey left over in there, but I will continue to get some of that out with the gin that I'm gonna be pouring in there. But if you're not using alcohol, no big deal. Then we're going to be adding our rose water. So this rose water is really awesome because there's so many uses you can have for it. So you can use anything, you can use it in soaps and also in beauty products, but you can also use it in a variety of drinks and also confectionery, baklava, and you can even make like rose ice cream. There's so many different things you could do with it. It's absolutely like incredible. So look up some really fun recipes. I really love to play around with it when using things like honey and lemon. It's really quite a beautiful flavor. So we're just gonna be doing a couple of drops of this in here. Oh, perfect. Now you can always add more towards the end if you'd like, but go ahead and give that a really big smell. Oh, it's floral. You definitely get some of almost those floral notes that come through from the honey. Oh, this is gonna be delicious. All right, so if you are making it with alcohol, this is where we're going to be adding in. I'm gonna be using about 2 ounces of our gin here, which is awesome. So if you're not making this cocktail with us, what cocktail are you guys making at home, or what are you drinking? Do you like beer? Do you like wine? Feel free to share with us. Love to know, love to know. There are all sorts of different things that we could be playing around with, but at the end of the day, it's all for our enjoyment anyways. So we'd love to know what you guys are working with. Awesome. So I'm just gonna go ahead, give that a little swirl. Perfect. All right, so now we're just gonna go ahead and add our ice. And if you can, go ahead and add ice to your tin, but also you wanna add ice to your glass, because when you're adding ice to your glass, then when you're ready to strain your cocktail right over it, it's just already on top. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some over to my glass right here. So you can see I already pre-iced my glass. I'm gonna set this aside. Got my garnish ready. It's gonna be awesome. So, all right, you guys ready to shake? We're gonna shake it up. Whether or not you're gonna be shaking a cocktail, go ahead and grab your water bottle, grab whatever you have and shake along with us. So we're just gonna shake it up. Get up out of your chair. Let's shake it. Yeah! So we're gonna be shaking like this. We don't shake like this because, as you can tell, it doesn't really do much. We're gonna be shaking front to back. Front to back, that pushes the ice and it will dilute it, break up all the ingredients so that it has this homogeneous mixture. It makes sure that it's the same flavor and the same texture all the way through. So we're breaking it up, we're shooting ice and air and everything through it, so it's got this really nice consistent flavor and texture. All right, there we go. All right, so now we are going to strain our cocktail. Oh yeah, look at that. Woo! Now we're just gonna strain that into our glass here. So I just have one of these. If you're using something like a mason jar at home, you can actually separate the little screw on top, put that piece off, and that little flat piece of the mason jar, you can actually use that piece to strain out the cocktail like this. So you can put that flat piece over top of that mason jar, and you can strain it out like this. All right, look at that. Woo! That is what I'm talking about. All right, so now we are just going to put our little lemon wheel right here. And this, my friends, is our evolved version of a sour, of a gin sour that evolved into a bee's knees, that when you add ginger and rose water, you make a beautiful cocktail called a son of a bee sting. And these are things that you can do and evolve off of. So you could even add lavender, or you could do a tea infusion with the gin. Play around with these flavors, honey and lemon and your spirit. So if you want to make something really interesting at home, take that honey and lemon, do equal parts. So let's say 1 ounce and 1 ounce. And then you can also do 2 ounces of gin. If you were making a mocktail version at home, you can feel free. You probably saw there's like probably a little space in your glass. Go ahead and either top it off with ice water, or you can top it off with soda water too. And that's a really great way to make use of making a mocktail like this at home. So let's just go ahead, give ourselves some cheers. All right, bottoms up. Woo! That is what I'm talking about. Ooh, delicious. This is like that kind of like fun, lemony, citrusy, getting into spring and summer kind of flavors that we're looking for. Well, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night, and it's back to you guys. Cheers! All right.